And we are back with another Black with No Cream podcast. New episode every single Sunday. I'm your host, Ben Haggerty, a.k.a. Ben Real Verse World. Tonight will be exciting for the Black with No Cream podcast as I will finally be interviewing the first female guest. Yes, the first motherfucking female guest. I hate that I've only had like a bunch of dudes on the podcast, but my friend circle in this industry just happens to be more male driven. I'm stoked to get more women on the show here and let them share their shit. Anyways, Jessica Lorenzo is a filmmaker, editor, DJ, and marketing wizard. Jess edits full-time for the super popular online film academy, better known as Jumpcut Academy. Constantly creating content for their platform. She has also worked for publications like Hip Hop DX. This girl has done a lot of shit. Jess is a freelancer. She is heavily involved behind the scenes for rapper TF, who was on episode 12 of the Black with No Cream podcast. She's creating visuals and building them up as an artist daily. If you don't know who TF is, look up the song Tukey Knows by Schoolboy Q. It's featuring TF and Traffic. She's also a founder for Music Video Night, a monthly local gathering which began in LA and is now happening in LA and New York. Basically, they host like a music video director once a month to come and share their work on a projector and speak to a live audience. They've had some amazing directors come through. Their fucking videos are massive, so if you want to get some good insight, you need to attend one of these events. So follow Music Video Night on Instagram if you want to attend any of their events. I'm excited to share this podcast episode with you guys today. She even is a DJ and goes by DJ Hella Kitty. Yes, DJ Hella Kitty. She's spinning real records. Prepare to learn a thing or 10 in this episode. If this is your first time tuning into the Black with No Cream podcast, you're probably wondering, what does Black with No Cream stand for? Well, Black with No Cream is a private content creator group fueled by caffeine, or at least I take my coffee black with no cream, but you can drink or not drink whatever caffeine you fuck with and still be a part of our community. We are a private group on Facebook open to creators of all kinds, aka if you make videos, if you're a photographer, if you do marketing, management, editing, dancing, etc., 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 all creators are welcome. Our private group has been growing rapidly. We have a shit ton of members working together by sharing content, asking for feedback, passing tips and tricks along to one another with the goal of pushing each other to become the best motherfucking content creators on earth. And you can join our group if you want to by going to BWNC.com/join. We would love to fucking have you. Please join. Also, this is exciting. In last week's episode, you may have heard me talk about how I was going to drop a limited edition Black with No Cream coffee mug on the Black with No Cream merch store. I did it, and I ended up making 36 mugs, put them up for sale. Only 30, actually. I'm going to put 30 up for sale. I'm keeping the 6 for me. I just wanted to try and see if I could create something rare for the Black with No Cream members to embrace, and they did. We sold out of all 30 mugs in one day. It was insane. It made me excited as fuck to create more shit like that. If you're interested in supporting Black with No Cream, just go to blackwithnocream.com/merch. I promise you we'll get more mugs up there. In the meantime, we have hats, stickers, shirts, pins, all that shit's available in the store. I appreciate anyone who picks up some merch. If you don't have the funds, I get it. Just help me out by sharing this podcast. Go on iTunes, drop a review. Every review helps. I need all that shit so I can keep this thing growing. I appreciate you. All right, that's it. Enjoy the work week. Keep creating. Make sure to tune in every single Sunday for a new Black with No Cream episode. And without further ado, I bring to you my motherfucking interview with Jess in the most epic podcast intro ever created right motherfucking now.
Attention.
If you stop this podcast recording at any time, you will die.
I don't want to die.
Do you want to live?
You have 24 hours to share this podcast with 5 people or you will die.
I'm kidding, you won't die. You're just weak shit for not sharing.
And the winner of the best motherfucking podcast goes to
Black with No Cream.
What do you think?
It's so fucking dumb and so fucking Ben Haggerty.
I knew you would say that. And we are back with another Black with No Cream episode, number 16, I think, with my homie and first female guest,
Hey.
Jessica Lorenzo, aka Jess Rue, aka Jay's girl, aka
DJ Hella Kitty.
DJ Hella Kitty,
Yeah.
editor. Would you say you're a director? Do you direct videos?
Lately I've been directing a lot more.
Director,
Yeah.
Producer.
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 Yeah,
I mean, you
guess.
pretty
Not
much do
music
everything.
producer. Yeah.
But I mean, you do everything.
I do
Not
a
a music
lot.
producer, but a DJ.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot. Yeah.
She does a lot. But anyway, this is exciting because this is my first female guest
That's
on the
crazy.
Black. Isn't that crazy?
But you know what? I feel like I have met more dope females this year, and I don't even use the word females like that, but dope female creators
Right.
than I've met in my whole life up to this point. The last like year, I'm just surrounded by so many talented women. So I can throw some your way for sure, for the podcast.
No, please. I have a few now on my list that I want to get to. I mean, I only do one a week, so it's like hard because it feels like it's happening so fast, but at the same time, I don't know. But I just know a lot of fucking dudes, and it was like easier to get like those dudes on here. You know what I mean? Because they're like already here around me all the time, so it's hard. But I mean, it's a challenge, and I think that there are fuck tons of dope chicks that are out there editing.
But women were a lot more behind the scenes, you know, definitely a lot more behind the scenes because I think you're a lot more likely to find a female editor than you are a female director. Or I think I've met quite a few female producers, but in terms of people that are like the face of things, we're a lot of times just in the background.
I know, it's weird. Yeah. There's like Hannah Lux Davis. Do you ever watch her shit?
Yeah, she came to music video night actually.
Did she?
Which I'm
Did
sure
she
we'll talk about. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, that was so dope because she was like not what I expected at all, but she blew me away.
Yeah,
she was awesome.
All right, so basically, music video night. That's something that you constructed, which you and a team of people. You can talk about that. For
sure. Yeah. So that was kind of crazy how that came about. So the co-founder is this guy named Greg Kaysen. And I've been working with Greg for quite a few years now. Or Marcos and I have been working with Greg in like various capacities. He's like a rapper, but he also works at agencies. And we had done a music video for him, and he wanted to have this premiere party. It was like a kind of like a political slanted music video. It was called "I Treat My Bitches Like Bernie." So it was,
tight.
But the video was cool, and he was like, "No, we want to have a proper premiere for it." So we ended up having this event at this bar on La Cienega called Mandrake, and a bunch of people came out. Like, it was packed, and we were like, "Oh, this is dope." And so we were like, "What if we get people together more often and screen videos?" And we were talking about doing it at Mandrake.
So you're saying the rapper that was having the party?
Yeah.
This is the dude that you
This is the co-founder. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
Greg.
met him.
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
right.
So he had the idea, and he was like, "So why don't we take it to the next level and make it actually about the directors?" And he came up with this whole idea about how directors are underappreciated in the music community. For instance, like when you watch the VMAs, the director never comes on stage to accept the VMA, right? It's always the artist, which is crazy. So so he was like, "Yeah, what if we do this event and we highlight the best videos of the month and have a director come and speak on their work and do a Q&A, kind of like a panel setting."
Right.
And I was like, "Man, that's dope." I was like, "That's really, really cool." So I guess in terms of how we work together on it, I'll put together like an hour-long curated mix of like what I deem are the best videos of the month, or if there's a video that's like super popping and I can't not put it in. And we'll screen it in it's been going on at Delicious Pizza. When it was in LA, it was at Delicious Pizza on Adams. Shout outs to Delicious. They support everything we do.
Bomb pizza too.
Yeah, pretty good pizza, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. And now actually, so Greg has moved to New York, so he's trying to get it popping in New York. So we had our 1-year anniversary night at the Brooklyn Museum, which was surreal.
Right, that's
like
crazy.
Beautiful. And it was outside. We had Eve Rivera come out, and he's done videos for Khaled, Nicki, French, like super New York.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I'm no one. What's that song? How does that shit go?
Which one?
With Bieber. You know I'm the one.
Yeah, I can't sing, but that's the one.
Song,
Yeah.
He did the video for that, which has like fucking 500 million views.
And it was up for VMA too, so we were able to talk about that. But it's been really, really awesome. We've had some really talented directors. I feel like I learned so much every month, like putting together the videos.
But how did it happen? Like, why were you in this conversation with him as far as like, let's put this together? Or did you guys put the party together?
We put the party together. Who? Yeah. And me and Greg and Marcos. And,
and Marcos, by the way, is your boyfriend.
Yeah. Marcos is my creative partner.
Yep. I'm just putting it out there. But,
if we mention him a lot, he actually asked that I call him Jay on the show. But I don't call him Jay in real life.
I call him Jay.
Yeah, I know. Everybody calls him Jay.
Now.
I'm like the only person that doesn't call him Jay.
He's in the room right now. You can't see him, but he'll be on the podcast soon enough. I just need a female, so.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. He can stay out of this one. Let me have this one. No.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you took he's got a big beard, and maybe, never mind. This is going to be a shitty joke.
Okay.
I was going to try to call you a girl. I want to hear it. You can't hear him talk.
Mexican Santa Claus.
There you go. If Dave, if you're editing this right now, please put up a picture of Marcos and AJ right now, right here in my hands. Anyway, so he came to you guys. You guys put on a party. The party was popping.
Yeah.
Now you've done a year of this shit with like what kind of directors have come in? Like what music videos are they doing? Because they're big videos that a lot of these directors have
definitely
done.
It's a lot, and everybody's down to do it. So for example, the first one we have Video God, and he's done most of Gucci Mane's videos, like Jeezy videos. He's a big time dude from Atlanta. And then we had Hannah Lux Davis, like I mentioned. She was she was our second woman on there. We've actually had 3 women. We had Spaghetto, who's a dope Italian director who did the Twerk documentary. And then we had Hannah Lux, who's done like Ariana's videos, Nicki's videos. And then we just recently had Tamara Davis. I don't know if you were there for that one, but I
can't remember.
She did the Basquiat documentary, like from footage that she shot when she was in her 20s, just like hanging out with him.
That's crazy.
And then it ended up being huge. And then she also directed Half Baked.
Dope.
And Billy Madison. So she was incredibly inspirational to watch.
That'd be dope as fuck.
And she's so humble and chill, and she had great advice. And I was just like, wow.
Yo, do you guys record that?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
You guys should do, so I went to an event not too long ago called, you probably already thinking about what I'm about to say.
Which one? No.
Well, I was going to say you guys should like record it, like
do a
actual,
podcast?
Yeah, do a podcast.
Yeah, we've put, I think we put the one with Kevin Swain, who did a bunch of Tupac's videos. We put that one up as a podcast. But you know, it's been kind of in the a lot of different technical difficulties for the event. Not too many, but kind of like trying to figure out how to get it right.
Yeah.
Because the focus is more on the event itself. So sometimes like we didn't get clean audio. You know, Marcos and I were just running around trying to put all the pieces together. And then of course like Greg was dealing with the directors and trying to make sure they're cool and figuring out what to ask them and talk about. So the focus has been more on the event, but coming up we definitely want to focus more on the content part of it so that it's something that's shareable, be it like in a podcast. We're still doing videos, and just be sure it's something that like people that aren't able to come to the event, because right now it's only in like New York.
You're not doing them in LA anymore?
We're gonna come back to LA. We'll come back to LA. I'm not sure exactly when, but it'll be this spring. We'll have a big one with the big dog and come back to LA.
It was tight too for me because I don't remember when the fuck it was, but I came to my first music video night, and I don't even know who the fuck was there because it was so packed.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so you guys can get like a description of this, and it's like, it's basically, is there footage of this online?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's musicvideonight.com. You can check out, we have the recaps that we've done, they're up there, and there's photos and information about the events.
Yeah, so check that out. That'll be in the description and shit. Maybe we'll put it on the video for the YouTube stuff. But I walk in, it's a pizza spot, right? And then you go through the pizza spot, and in the back is like this like little room that's set up for like events. But you could fit mad chairs in there. There's probably like, how many people do you think you could fit inside? Like 50? Maybe?
Yeah, 50 maybe. Mm-hmm.
Easily like 50 people, and it was just jam packed, like in between the seats, and then out in the hallway. It was like so packed, so I had to like stand out in the back of the hallway to like see it. But so I had no idea if people were speaking. I didn't know what was happening, but it was sick because it was like, I personally, you watch music videos like all the time.
Yeah.
When I was growing up and like music and shit. And then when I got out here, I've been so fucking busy that I can't even stay up to date on that shit. So it was crazy to come in. And also the same fact, people put out music videos, and I feel like we don't watch them all the time anyway.
Sure.
Like through in its entirety because we don't have time.
Sure.
Like people are too distracted. Like if you put on a YouTube video, I'll probably pick up my phone in the middle of it because someone texts you or whatever.
Right.
But it was sick because I felt bad. All I wanted to do was pull out my phone and Instagram how crazy it was that there was that many people in there. But I felt bad having my phone out, and I felt obligated to sit there and watch the music videos because I thought the entire time, like when I didn't know you guys played just a bunch of music videos before they spoke. So I just thought the directors were in the room that did these videos. And I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful. And then you catch yourself actually watching a music video, and you're like tuned in, and it was dope. And I looked around, and everyone in the room was like so focused. Yeah, just so focused on music video. And I'm like, we don't do this shit anymore. So it was like a unique way to try to like get eyeballs on these videos truthfully again, even though like they didn't pick the video. They're just sitting there waiting, you know what I mean? But now that it's so entertaining because that's why we like music videos. Mm-hmm. But I think it was really dope. So then you guys went to New York and did like your first New York shit. And it was cracking. How many people were there?
Maybe 100.
Crazy.
No more? 200?
200 people?
It was packed out, and it was Yeah, it was packed, and what I love about it is that we get such good questions. It's such, and the directors are so down to share like specific information. And for that one we did, this guy named Kareem. He was actually a producer of a lot of videos, and he's been a long time producer of music videos. Done a bunch, like ones for back in the day. So he came out too and spoke. And we're trying now to focus on potentially some other parts of the music video, so not just the director.
Yeah.
So, for instance, actually tomorrow, well, I'm not sure when this is going to come out, but
PA night.
right, tomorrow, we're doing a collaboration with MoMA. So it's going to be at the MoMA in New York, which is a crazy big deal, and they're doing a series on hip hop fashion. So we're examining hip hop fashion through the lens of music videos, and we have this guy named Upscale Vandal who was helped relaunch the Billionaire Boys Club brand and has worked with like Pusha T and J Balvin and stuff like that on styling and fashion. And so he's going to be the person. So this is our first time not having a director, and he's like a fashion icon in New York.
But that's a tight branch.
Yeah.
So do you feel that by naming it Music Video Night, do you have to like
we're not
rework
limited.
that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we're limited to because we're still going to show music videos.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to show music videos, and then he's going to talk about the fashion in the music videos. So it's all kind of pieces of it, and there's so many different parts to a music video. It's not just
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I think a podcast, because what I was going to say earlier was I went to, have you ever been to the Wanderlust? Wanderlust? It's like Hollywood and I don't fucking know across streets, but one of my family friends, like a family friend, he's like a street artist or whatever, and he goes by the name of Morley. And so he read at this, it's called Mortified. Have you ever heard of Mortified?
No.
So dope. You guys gotta go.
What
I
is it?
think there's one on Valentine's Day. You all have to come. Like we all should mob out, because the first time we went, it was just me and Lauren. We went and watched it, and basically what it is it's like 5 people get up and they read like their diaries from when they were a kid, like shit that you would be mortified if someone heard.
Oh, I see.
And so, and I think this was actually, they had done a Netflix, or there was like a documentary early on, like 8 years ago. They made a Mortified documentary. It was huge, it exploded. They had a book, it was bomb, blah, blah, blah. And so they brought it back and they do it live, and like they pack out this place and they'll just read these stories, and it's so fucking funny. Like you're like, when you hear the shit that they're thinking when they were kids or whatever, like it's so wild. But they did that shit and it was cool. And I know that they've been recording like each speech or whatever and putting it up on as a podcast. So I'd be sick to add that element to your guys' shit. But also, like, would you guys say in the future you would start charging for that shit? Because you got a sponsor too, right?
Yeah. It's under Mass Appeal. They sponsor us, and then we'll see. I mean, I don't think we're ready to charge yet, but I mean, yeah, definitely down the line. But I mean, I like the idea that people can come for free, right? Like I they can just RSVP or just show up, and I don't think that information should like come with the price tag necessarily if the directors are willing to share it. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely getting it out there as a podcast and then putting videos out more consistently is something we're going to be doing. So it's not just limited to the people who can come.
Damn.
But
you should let Black with No Cream sponsor it, and I'll give you
some mugs.
No, I sold out the mugs.
Oh, dang.
We just these two for the podcast only. That's it. I'll think of something like a T-shirt.
Yeah, that could be cool.
And I'll talk about it on the podcast all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always try to
bring
educate.
it up. Well, you know what? We've had some people from Black with No Cream come to the events for sure. In New York, yeah, we had some people that were from the group.
What?
It came out. Yeah, shout out to them.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I remember plugging that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's
Tight.
dope.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I fucking love this group because it's really weird how it's like working.
Yeah.
And people are actually like connecting dots and all this shit's happening or whatever. It's been pretty sick, but this ain't about the Black with No Cream. It's about you.
It's all good. Shout out to Black with No Cream.
Yeah, shout out to Black with No Cream. The way we met was through my friend and your friend, TF.
Yeah.
And so I met you guys in Florida.
Yeah, I can't believe you remember that. That's crazy. Yeah, that was a crazy trip. Yeah.
It was fucking funny because we like, fuck, what show was it? It was
Orlando.
It was in Orlando, and
Yeah.
it was the hottest venue. Like it was so hot that I couldn't do photography shit because my lens would steam up so much.
Yeah.
It was so packed. Like it was so
packed.
wild. But you guys were there, and I think that might have been the first time I met Jay too. Maybe it was when you guys both came there. But what'd you guys do? Fly there?
Yeah, we flew there. So I was visiting my friend who lived in Florida, and then we wanted to come to the show. We wanted an excuse to go to a show on the tour, basically, and that one ended up being crazy.
Yeah,
so,
super crazy.
Yeah,
but
that night was crazy too.
TF. So TF is when I was on, for whoever doesn't fucking know what I do.
Yeah.
When I was on tour with Schoolboy Q, TF has a song with him, and it's for Tukey Knows. He's like a feature on Tukey Knows, and it's like one of the fucking biggest songs. And so every night on tour, TF would come out and perform with Traffic, and they would like tear up the stage and shit. These two, which you can't, if you're watching this on YouTube, you guys can't see Jay, but like manage him and create his content, and like they all come up with ideas and shit and work really fucking hard behind the scenes, and have been like curating this amazing content with him. And I don't know, I think it's super impressive and shit, because I love fucking TF's music and shit.
Yeah.
But, so what all do you do for TF? And how'd that come to be too? That's what kind of interesting.
Well, I'll let Marcos talk about that on his podcast if he's going to be on there. But he has been working TF for a few years now, and back when before Q, before anybody, and they would just be recording at the house. We have a studio at the house, and they would just be up all night doing songs, and then we started to kind of get them together and started doing videos, and I was the editor of all the early videos for him, none of which
Are online
I could
anymore?
no, they're online, but I couldn't really share with my parents because they're like super scandalous. So yeah, but I'm the
couldn't share
ghost editor.
Really?
Of them. Yeah.
So
for
you
sure.
want to put your name on it?
I mean, I could, but yeah, I don't know. We'll just say that I wouldn't share them with my parents. But anyway, since then we've definitely progressed and elevated, and it's been dope because it was such a blessing for him to get to work with Q and be
crazy.
on the Tukey Knows, the whole 3 parts of that video, because I think that really, and he said before that kind of opened his mind to like creative possibilities when you're doing videos. And so then we were kind of like, okay, like he's down, so any other video concept that was crazy out of the box, like he's with it, or he has the concepts himself. So it's awesome to like have an artist that we're working with that's down for that, to really, really go outside the box with videos. Like we were telling people for the Panda Express video, there's no rapping in that video at all. And now that's something we're trying to do with like every video.
Yeah.
We don't want to have any more rapping.
Right.
But I mean, I'm sure it'll happen. But it was definitely something where like he wasn't like, oh yeah, you don't want to get a performance scene. No, like none of that. He was down.
Crazy.
So yeah, I've been editing at least the videos that Marcos is directing, and I'm usually producing them, so helping organize props and locations and whatnot. And then I'm kind of in charge of merch, I guess semi-publicist.
Like
so a lot
all
of
shit.
different things. Yeah,
So
but
how-
you just do what you can.
But what does this come from? Like, as far as like your childhood and shit, how does that push you into this whole creative world as far as being an editor, doing all this extra shit and like learning all that stuff? What did you do early on that kind of like led you to this path? You know what I mean?
Well, I've always been really into hip hop. Like since I was real young, I was like on hip hop forums and stuff like that in like 8th grade and 7th grade, and just I was trying to connect people and connect with other people, because I grew up like on military bases and all kinds of strange places that didn't have hip hop communities, and so I had to go online to find these communities where I could talk about music with people that I couldn't talk about it with in real life. And I was always like just digging like deeper and deeper, into like super underground rap shit, and just finding unheard of artists and reaching out to them on MySpace. And like even before I knew exactly what I wanted to do, I was just always trying to connect with people that I thought were dope and push them. And so I think after I said this too off camera, but when I was growing up, I thought I wanted to be like a news reporter. And then I quickly discovered like I didn't want to be on camera, and I liked the editing side of it way more.
Yeah,
And
she's super nervous about this shit. Yeah. I have 3 cameras on us right now.
I mean, and there's a light and everything, but no. So yeah, I decided I liked editing, and I grew up like watching MTV and BET and watching all these 2000s music videos that were high budget, and a lot of them were super dope. And I was like, man, I just want to do music videos.
Right.
So I think probably when I was 17 or 18, I decided I wanted to do music videos. And little did I know the game would like completely change, and you know, budgets would get slashed for music videos, and everyone would have to be making them with their DSLRs and stuff like that. So so it all just kind of came together, I guess, you know, when I met Marcos, and he had like experience in audio engineering, and but also, you know, we kind of just really developed our creative vision together, and we would always see artists and like critique them, and just to ourselves, you know, be like, oh, why isn't this artist doing this, or why, you know, why is their social media handle this, or like why trash. Yeah, like just you know, like, oh, why they put this video out, or why are they wearing that? It's just like just stuff that managers would say, you know. So when he started working with TF, and TF was kind of down for our input, then you know, we kind of just ran with it, you know, and they're partners, so it's not like we're telling him what to do. He's completely in charge of his own career and everything like that. We're just kind of like advising based on our experience. Right. So
where all did you grow up at? Like, where are you technically from, or where are you from? Some like fucking someplace in like Florida, and then lived
No, definitely not Florida. No. So my dad was in the Air Force, and we moved. Okay. I moved maybe 14 times.
Goddamn.
So it was all over, a lot in the South. So I lived in South Carolina, Alabama, Louisiana, Virginia. I lived in, where else? Las Vegas. I spent a lot of time in Vegas. I have a Vegas area code, which is like super sus.
That's funny as fuck.
Yeah, people don't answer my calls because of the Vegas area code. I lived in Japan actually for 2 separate times. That was crazy.
Damn, that's tight though.
Yeah. That like shaped me a lot when I was in Japan.
Fuck, being a kid. So what time frame is this for you?
So this was all growing up. So my dad didn't get out of the Air Force until maybe until I was in my 20s.
Oh shit.
So I moved like every year, every 2 years.
That'd be so hard
until
to
college.
Like,
yeah.
Have that, you know, constant change or whatever, and like it makes total sense why you end up on. I mean, I was on forums too, but that's just because I felt outcasted in my own school. You know what I mean? Like I felt like no one else, well, only like a few collect people, but I at least had people in real life to talk to, but I could totally relate to like utilizing forums to communicate to people, which is kind of like what this shit is. Like Black with No Cream, people get on there all the time and are conversing with each other in like ways that I don't think they could talk to people at home about. For sure. But I don't know, what do you think it was that was like the turning point as far as like, was it once you got to California? When did you guys meet, you and Jay?
2009.
So like around that time was that like you guys being together and him working on his music shit and whatever, and then you guys started were you playing with cameras and shit like that before?
Yeah, so I moved out here. So I went to college in South Carolina, and I bought a camera with money I got from college graduation, and then I moved out here and I had the camera, and that was like the only thing I had with camera. Like some money I'd saved up. Yeah. But it was like a big ass camera too, and so back then, this was before like the 5D came out.
Oh yeah.
So it was a while ago.
What, the JVC like whatever the fuck it was like the cool skate looking one? It was a
Panasonic DVX 100, which is a really dope camera. I actually still have it because I love it so much I can't let it go. But it was the first like camera that I had ever used where you could do everything manually. So it was like big like a camcorder, but you could set like your frame rate, so you could shoot in slow-mo on it. You could do all manual aperture and everything like that. Yeah, to mini DVs. So so I had this camera, and I knew I wanted to do music videos when I came out here. Right. So I would just pull up to shows, like I was trying to meet artists on my own, and I would pull up with the camera, and I would just like have people come up to me because I was like this girl with this big ass camera, and they'd be like, "Hey, I want to do a video," or "Hey, like let's shoot some content," or they didn't even call it contact back then. It was like, let's do some videos, you know? So so I was like, yeah, sure, just like super hungry, eager to do everything.
This is how you were like getting like making a living?
No. I had a job, and then that was just kind of like what I was trying to pursue on the side. Right. And then I met Marcos, and I always tell people this. It was crazy because when I first met Marcos, I had just finished editing my first like music video for this artist. And I thought it was so dope. Like, I thought I killed it. And I was sending it to all these people, like, hey, give me your feedback. And they were just gassing me up, like, oh, it's so good, Jess. Like, you killed it. And then I had just met Marcos, and I showed it to Marcos, and he was like, yeah, it's cool. He's like, yeah, he was like, I don't know, like the color, you didn't really spend that much time on the color, and like giving me all this feedback that was super specific, but that was like so on point. And I was like, dang, like he's right, you know.
I love him.
And no,
Damn,
not even
I love
that.
this guy.
Not even that, because like normally I don't take criticism very well.
Right.
But
That's
I was
hard.
but I respected the criticism because I was like, dang, like it's true, you know. And so ever since then, I was like, okay, he's somebody that I need to have like on my side, and we need to start working together.
Dope.
And so I mean, we were working together before we got together for
That's crazy.
a long time. But yeah, so I was shooting these videos for this rapper, and it was kind of like vlog style. So this was before people were even really doing vlogs, and I would just go out and I would shoot with him maybe like 3 or 4 days a week. He was like, hey, he would call me like, hey Jess, like I'm gonna go get my car washed. Like shoot me getting my car washed. And it was like, hey, I want to go to the beach. Like shoot me going to the beach. Like all this stuff, and I would just have the camera and
like docu style
and document it. But he you know, he had kind of a big personality, so it was fun. And also I think he liked the idea of being seen out with the camera because it made him look like somebody. And
yeah, that's true.
and yeah, and
That's
then
a good idea. That was really good.
yeah,
idea.
right? Because people be like, oh, who are you? And be like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
whatever, follow me or whatever. So
Buy my mixtape.
yeah, exactly.
Who was it? Who's the rapper?
No, I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, it was
Are
just
the
it was
videos
a long
still
time
up?
ago. No, I don't think so. I think he took
Damn,
them
that'd
down.
be
I
tight
know
to see.
they might be. I'm not sure. I haven't looked for him in a while. But you know, so and what's crazy is when I watch like the Q tour videos,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, if I would have like kept going with what I was doing with him back then, it could have eventually come to something like that. Like
For
not to
sure.
compare myself to you know
No, but
how
for
good of an editor you are, but I was like, man, it was kind of a similar style,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Like playing off jokes and like putting shit
Totally.
together. So was it,
Yeah.
were they music videos or they were like
No, they were
day-to-day?
vlogs. They were vlogs. So we would shoot maybe like 3 or 4 days a week, and
Yeah.
then at the end of the week or whatever, I would edit them and then try to like take out all the best parts and make them funny. And that was my first time ever editing any content like that.
Damn.
And you know, it's kind of rough to watch them back then,
Oh,
but
yeah. I mean, everything's
it's hard.
so fucking funny to watch that shit.
But some of them were real good, you know. And
Yeah.
and I would get paid $150 for probably like 4 days worth of shooting and like 12 hours worth of editing, and that was what I would get.
Hey,
you know,
at
the
least
end
he
of the week.
paid you.
Yeah,
That
true.
could have been worse.
For sure, I could have not got paid. But so Marcos came along and he was like, hey, you know, I want to help you working with this artist. Why don't you let me go? Because a lot of times it was like studio sessions that were super late night, and I didn't really want to be there, or you know, there was a lot of stuff I just was like, I don't want to
Not
go.
trying to
And it
be
was like a
there
strip
around that
club
shit.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like I'm good, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he would start shooting for me.
He's like, I'll go to the strip
And I
club
was
for
like,
you.
dang, like he's kind of right.
Don't worry
It's
about
like, I
this
volunteer.
one, babe. I got this one. I got this one.
But yeah, and I was like, dang, like he's pretty nice with the camera, you know, and he got some good shots, and they were like, maybe we should start doing music videos, and then we started working with other artists. It's always been about for us like finding undiscovered talent, I think, that we really believe in, because that's something that we're both passionate about. And even to this day, there's like artists that, you know, we were like searching forever for this dude's SoundCloud and we couldn't remember what it was. And he's
Right.
like the dopest dude we've heard in years, and we're like, we have to find him, we have to
Yeah.
work with him. So that's what it's been about for us. It's just finding people and figuring out how we can align ourselves with them in whatever way they need, and then helping them like put those pieces together so that they can get exposure and take it to the next level.
Didn't you guys, and tell me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong, but didn't you tell me that you guys did something early for Kendrick, like before he was even remotely something? Did you guys work with him at all or shoot some shit?
Yeah, well, we didn't, because it didn't end up
you
going
wrote treatments
through.
for it?
We wrote a treatment. So Kendrick, back in probably like 2010, he used to do like a lot of little shows around LA before he really had a big buzz going. And I think we went to some show at a club in Hollywood, and Kendrick was headlining. We went because we were friends with BJ, the Chicago kid. He was performing, and then Kendrick was like headlining.
Oh, right.
And I went, and Marcos saw Q, and Marcos and Q, like, you know, lived on the same street growing up. And he was like, Q was Kendrick's hype man. So he was like, you know,
Yeah.
up there just doing hype man stuff.
Yeah.
And Marcos connected with Q after the show, and he was like, oh, what's up? You know, they hadn't seen each other in a while. And we were like, yeah, like, you know, what are you up to? And he was like, yeah, you should work with Kendrick. So we had a meeting with them, and we really kind of clicked. It was with Dave and Kendrick, and I can't remember who else, but it was like somebody's apartment. It was just like so low key. And
at the time, you guys were already cracking on videos, and like that.
We
people
were,
knew
but
that you were doing that shit?
No, not at all. People didn't know. We were still trying to like Kendrick was one of those people that we saw and we were like, oh, we believe in him. We want to push him, you know. But little did we know, like not even a year later, he would put out. I think he put out Overly Dedicated, and then Section 80 was after that.
Yeah.
So we had an idea for a video, and it was great, and Kendrick liked it, and Dave initially liked it, and then I think they talked about it, and they just realized it wasn't a good look for him at the time. And, you know, we respected it. We were like, okay, well, this is what the route they want to go with him. Obviously, they did something right, like crazy, right? So it's wild how things come full circle, and now, you know, we're getting to work with TDE again, just in a different way. But I remember, you know, we really loved Kendrick back then, and we just saw what they were doing, and we respected it so much.
Who else are you guys working with right now that's besides TF, like in the same, you know, aspect? Are you guys working with any other artists right now, or is it just TF mainly?
Can we talk about who we're working with?
Everyone, she's asking JJ sitting on the ground. He's gonna give her an answer in a second.
So Marcos is working with this guy named Manny Coolin. He's from LA. He's really, really dope. He's got a good buzz. He's real big on SoundCloud.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm working with my girl Hannah. Shout out to Hannah Got Raps.
Hannah
She's
Got
super
Raps.
dope.
I met her at your house. You guys moved into a house, like, when was that? 3 months ago?
In June 30th. That was my birthday. Yeah, it's been more than 6 months already.
June 30th. Wait, so then you're not a Gemini. You're the one after
I'm
that.
A Cancer.
Shit, I'm a Gemini.
Damn, I don't trust you.
Could have been cool.
Geminis, man.
But yeah, when we were there, I met her and she was super tight.
Yeah.
Hannah Got Raps. Everyone look her up on what?
She's amazing.
SoundCloud?
Yeah, SoundCloud. If you search for the Blossom Project on Spotify, just search for Hannah Blossom, it might pop up. But Hannah Got Raps on socials. She's super dope.
She still got really big hair.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm pretty sure that me and Lauren were driving on Sunset the other day, and Lauren's like, "Oh, that's Hannah Got Raps," and we just like passed her like that.
You know what's funny is people think they don't know if it's Hannah Got Raps or Hannah Go Traps.
Oh my god, who the fuck thinks that? How do you think that? Damn. But so what do you do with her? What all are you working with her on?
We're trying to figure it out right now. We're trying to figure it out. We did her first music video.
Oh, dope.
It's called Better, or it's not her first music video, but it was her first video off of this project that she put out.
Cool.
And we got a lot of stuff we're talking about and trying to figure out. I don't know who else we're officially working with. Kind of got the hands full with TF right now.
Yeah, goddamn.
But a lot of people that we're kind of talking to and following and just trying to see how we can get in and help, for sure.
Is your family living in South Carolina right now?
Yeah.
So that's why you guys were over there?
Yeah, for sure.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I know that
You're
they
like,
went
why?
out there and they like shot some music video for TF, and I was like, why the fuck they go out to South Carolina? So was that like your parent? Like all right, so this video's not out yet.
No,
right?
no.
When's it coming out? TBD.
Probably next month. Yeah,
okay.
Next month.
But they went out and shot a video out in South Carolina. And it was like hilarious because TF's like fucking Instagram shit was like all the Stranger Things kids and shit like that, and like it just looked
that was
cold.
dope. That was really dope. So that was my first time having to do casting for a video. And
you really tried to make them look like the Stranger Things kids?
No, it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with Stranger Things. He just like called the kids Stranger Things.
I was like, what? Because they did kind of look like that shit. It really did kind of look like them. Yeah,
low key. No, but so it was a story around like two kids growing up in the South, so I haven't lived in South Carolina since I went to college there, like over 10 years ago, and I was trying to figure out how to cast, and we had all of our actors like pulled out the day before, and in LA it would be so easy to cast. You just put up an ad and you get like 30 people that are down, but there it was crazy, and it was like over Christmas and nobody was checking their email, but luckily it all came together and we ended up casting some really, really talented kids, and we shot at like a farm, so it's gonna be really different from anything he's done before.
Dope.
But it's gonna be a little shocking. It's for the song Misguided. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
So then the other thing that I thought was tight, because I was like I'm playing off of like what I know about
No,
you.
that's cool.
But it was like we shot, what video did we shoot? Concrete Jungles. We were trying to pick up some shots for so when we were on tour, we were in France, somewhere in Nimes, France, I want to say. I don't know how you say it.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, so we're out there, and there's this old ass fucking Game of Thrones like arena shit where people used to get slayed and stuff, and it was built in year 79.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
Fucking
a long time ago.
Crazy. So we like went out and we like climbed up on the walls and did all this shit, and then TF's like, "Yo, listen to this song," and he starts pulling out some email and plays me the song. I'm like, that's tight. But this is as we were done. We already did all our exploring. Everyone got their fucking selfies and shit. And then we're like, all right, we're leaving. And then he's like, we should shoot a video for it. We had already walked out. And we're like, yo, let's just try to go back in. But the guy's probably going to charge us. So we made up some shit that we left something in there. He's like, all right,
No
go.
way.
Yeah, so we went back in. And like we shot as quick as we could. Like we just went into like one tunnel. We're like, this is sick. So then he just started rapping. And like we were literally, MacWap is holding his phone playing the song from his cell phone. Like,
wow.
Concrete Jungle.
Yeah.
And it, like we couldn't hear it sometimes, and then we like, all right, do something different. He like takes his shirt off. All right, go over here. He does it there, and that just wasn't enough to make a video. So then we, he's like, yo, I got a studio. He kept saying like, I got a studio to film at, and I'm like, man, this is gonna look like stupid as fuck. I don't want to go shoot in some ratchet.
Where you think it's like a recording studio?
Recording studio. Yeah. I'm like, God.
Yeah.
So then he's like, come over here. So I go over there, and I get to where's that office at? Like somewhere off Vine or something.
Yeah.
So you guys have like an office over in that space, and so we go in, and it's like this massive, like fucking 16-foot tall window, like apartment looking thing, but it had a bunch of like set design stuff and camera shit. And Jay's in there, and you guys are all in there setting up like tripods and like some backdrops and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Whose is this shit? Like this looks like a YouTube space or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you were like, yeah, these are these dudes at Jumpcut.
Yeah.
And she's like, they're killing it. I work for them. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is Jumpcut?
Yeah.
And then I like looked it up, and he told me, and it was like subscription-based academy. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is crazy. And I realized like what they were doing and like that. So how did that? So you started.
So that's my day job. Yeah, that's my
for
job. I've been working with them for about 2 years now, and so they're a startup that creates educational content that basically teaches people how to live non-traditional lifestyles. So the first course we put out, our flagship course, it's called Viral Academy. It teaches people how to be successful on YouTube. So not just creating content, but how to make it go viral in a sense, and then how to also monetize and team up and do brand deals or collaborate with other YouTubers. And it gives you a whole framework for how you can be successful on YouTube and make a living out of it. And then we actually just launched our second course, which is teaching people how to create automated informational products, which is kind of a strange concept. But if you ever are scrolling through, we're flooding everybody's IG and Facebook right now. So if you see a Jumpcut ad, that's probably what it's for.
I see Jumpcut ads all the time.
All the time, right? It's
My
crazy.
Instagram is fucking ridiculous.
Well, we're targeting you, and it was crazy because I had never seen them until recently. Now I'm seeing them every day. So
you're getting targeted. That's such a waste of money.
Yeah, I know, but it the ads work like crazy because people just they watch it, and I think that who we're targeting are online all the time. So we're trying to teach people with this new course how to.
Wait, you're targeting people, but you're teaching people how to target people.
Exactly.
Sick.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn.
Super meta.
You know what's crazy is I found myself anytime I'm on Instagram and I see it'll happen like this. I swear to God, I scroll and I see 1 second of something happen, and I realize it's a game, and I can install it right then, and I'm like, damn, that shit looks kind of tight. And I've downloaded probably 30 games in the last 2 months because someone's cracked the code on how to convince you, where they show you the most epic part of a game where it's like a thing that flies in between pillars or a guy that swings by a rope, and you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, this looks tight, and I always download that motherfucking shit. And the way that they did Jumpcut's the same thing. Like, it makes you feel like, oh shit, there's something. They make you feel like they have value, or there's something valuable there that they have, and there's some big secret or some shit. But I like it too because what I've seen from the courses is not like cornball.
Yeah, for sure. It's real facts.
Yeah.
It's real information, and we have a lot of success stories, at least from our first product, Viral Academy. People that have just blown up, but you have to really do it and stick to the program.
Yeah. And what's it? It's like hours of content basically that you guys are putting together.
Yep. It's hours of instructional content. There's also worksheets. There's different exercises you can do, and it goes through everything from like start to finish, like what gear you can buy if you're just starting out. Something called like the traits of virality, which teaches you the elements that would make a video go viral and how to incorporate them all into your videos, like no matter what topic they are. And then the money making side of it. Tight. So you just, if people are really, really serious, I recommend it. It's worth it. Do you apply it to the shit you do? Like I do for sure. I kind of started at a more advanced level, but there's definitely advanced stuff in there. It would go into a lot about utilizing like forums and Reddit communities and stuff like that. And the way, like the specific way you can use Reddit, like science behind their algorithms so that you can get to the top. So one of our students, they've got to the front page of Reddit like 4 or 5 times. Damn. And right after they started using our techniques and we're getting it to the top page. So it's dope. It's cool, that we're giving people an kind of like an alternative lifestyle that's not the 9 to 5. And I got on the front page of Reddit once with the me versus Q. The fidget spinners? Fidget spinner video, yeah. That's dope. I didn't know you got to the front page. I didn't either until someone told me. I was like, oh, shit, that's tight. Makes sense why I got some views. Reddit is its own own world, And I really like it. I had a friend on here. He's like my 5th episode. His name's Tim Dye, but he goes by the Everyday Astronaut. He just does these crazy, like, he won an astronaut suit on eBay basically, and he just started wearing it and he's a really good photographer and started doing these ridiculous fucking photos of him in this spacesuit, basically trying to get back to space. And he did an ill collage, like 8 photo series of it and put it up on Reddit and got like millions of views, like 5 or 6 million. He was always on the front of Reddit, and like it's catapulted that career where he literally just quit his job not too long ago, being like he was probably the most expensive wedding photographer in my hometown in the state of fucking Iowa and the Midwest. Because he's so good at it. Yeah. But he quit that shit to go full time with YouTube. And now he's just been sitting there testing shit and live streaming. He does all this like rocket science, and it's all about like space shit. He literally became a fucking character and turned that shit into like a thing. And it's dope. But I should tell him about Jumpcut, because I feel like he could. I mean, he's been studying it so much now, but at this point. But like, how much is like the average cost? Because it's like, when you hear it, it's like $1,000 for like a course, right? Well, it's $1,000 for the whole program. And then they also have a payment plan, so you can sign up for the payment plan. And it's, I feel like I'm so like plugging it right now, but that's my job, and I fully I'm really on board with what they teach. Yeah. And I've been there and talked to these success stories, and it's crazy. But they have a full year guarantee. If you don't see success, if you actually put forth the effort and go through the program and then you don't see success, like you can get your money back. That's crazy. Yeah. What a fucking risk. Right. That's crazy. But $1,000, like, I don't know. I feel like at this day and age, I just met with this kid, Nikko, earlier today, random from Black and No Cream and like Q shit. I think he was at a show or something in Greece or wherever the fuck. I don't know where the fuck we were at. But now he lives in Australia. He was in LA and we were talking and shit. And it's crazy because he said he shot, I was telling him I was doing your podcast tonight, and he said that he photographed the dude that does music shit for Jumpcut. That's like, he got popular on YouTube back in the day with like Kong and those dudes. Do you know who I'm talking about? Was it Aria? Is that guy? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Does he do music? He does music now, yeah. Like metal or like some... Oh, you're talking about Riff Shop, right? It's 2 guys and they do death metal videos? No, because then I was looking at Jumpcut's website and I saw that shit, the death metal video. Oh, it's not him. Okay, the other guy, Arya, yeah. Whatever. I don't know, maybe not. Don't fucking judge me. I don't know. But he said he was just shooting them and I'm like, that's fucking crazy because I was describing what you were doing. And he's like, oh, fuck, I know that. Yeah. I know Jumpcut because of this. But he was also telling me that he's like in this weird situation where he has to go to college. He's from Greece, but doesn't want to, I think he said he's from Greece. Doesn't want to stay there because the government's all fucked right now or something like that. So he's like in Australia. He's trying to go to college so that he can become a resident, because if you go to college and do all this stuff, it can like show that you care about the country, and then you can eventually become, I don't know. Wow. So
he's been trying to do that, but he ultimately would rather just live in LA. So basically he's doing a roundabout, long-term, shitty thing to be able to get here. So if he can do it here, it's going to be easier for him to do it here.
Right.
And so he was talking about coming here and trying to go to film school. And then I was listening, I'm like, why do you need film school? Because he's already out, he's toured with some like massive artists. He compared him to like the Kendrick of wherever country. Yeah, I think it was. And the dude's sick. Like the videos, the dude's cracking. Like his shows look crazy. I don't know. My face recognition is not recognizing my on my cell phone. It's not like recognizing me with this stupid ass headphone on. I don't know his name. The artist. I'm terrible at this shit.
Well,
like
send him to me. I want to check out the Kendrick of Greece. That's lit.
Yeah, damn. Bloody Hawk. Is the artist's name. Yeah. So he's just crazy, whatever. Apparently but I wouldn't say they're comparing him musically, but like the way I guess his thought process is and the way he makes music is like similar or whatever. Anyway, he went and toured with him, did all this shit, and I'm like, yo, I don't personally believe that you need film school because I didn't go. Yeah. And I'm still doing fine out here. And I'm like, at this point, it's a lot of money to go network with people. And I'm like, but you're already doing that with your cell phone. You know what I mean? Like, you use your cell phone, and then you flew yourself to Greece and went on tour with an artist that you said is, like, remotely, like, huge over there. So, like, you're already doing it. You don't need to do this shit. But he had to, like, do it through because he was trying to get citizenship, which is crazy. Yeah. But at the same time, he's like, you don't really think I need it? I'm like, no, if you have to go to school, go to some fucking shitty community college and just deal with it. But, like, you have things like Jumpcut and fucking YouTube and the real life situations, which I really think help. But when I was first starting out with like Final Cut, I got it for free from an old teacher, and she like let me have it, and I was like, oh fuck, I like loaded it up on my MacBook Pro, and then I didn't use it for 6 months because I was like, I opened it up and was like, what the fuck is happening in here? And I like thought I could use it because I thought I'm like this cool filmmaker that I can do anything, and I open up, I have no idea how to use it, and I didn't touch it. And then I bought a book, like a guide on how to like, it was basically tutorials before tutorials were a thing, and you could like walk through it and do steps and do tests and like try shit out. And that shit, I don't know how much that cost, like a couple $100. And my dad almost had me go to like an academy up in Minneapolis so I could get like certified. He was like, dude, I'll put you through it if you really think you could do this shit, blah, blah, blah. It's like $3,000. So $1,000 to do it now, I think people are always like expecting free. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is kind of difficult, especially for like guys that got famous on YouTube that then started Jumpcut. Yeah. Like they're expecting them like to just give it all up, but that's how you're supposed to make a living and still teach what you're good at. Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's such a good move for young creators to like make that investment, and then that returns probably. Well, I mean, you guys guarantee that it's supposed to work in a sense, you know what I mean? But like, you should be able to take away some value in it. But
yeah, well, when you think about how much film school costs, especially if you go to like a film specific school, I mean, it's crazy. And you're not going to get paid, even if you go to school and you get straight out of school, you're not going to get paid right away. No. And you shouldn't expect to, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I definitely think that it's worth $1,000. But so I graduated college in 2008. Yeah. And YouTube was just starting to like crack. I remember my little sisters would do videos on YouTube of them like singing and dancing, and I was like, man, what is this? This is weird. And they would like share it on MySpace, and that was like the beginning of YouTube to me. And I mean, I had no idea that I would be like 10 years later working in a business that ultimately started from YouTube. I know, like it's mind blowing. Yeah. But I wish that I had known that I didn't need to go to school. I really wish that I had known, because I also, it's crazy, an old teacher gave me Premiere, so I learned on Premiere. It was like Premiere 2 or something like that. And then I learned Avid, and then because I was working at a TV station in high school as part of like a high school internship program when I lived in Japan. Yeah, it was really weird. It was like the military TV channel, and I would go in and we'd do these like little news segments on the school, and they would play them on local TV. That's so funny. But I learned Avid, which is crazy, because back then you couldn't just get it. And then I had Premiere on my laptop, and so I would kind of like do little stupid projects on Premiere. And then when I got to college, they taught us Final Cut. So then I learned Final Cut. And then when Final Cut, went to 10 or whatever, then I went back to Premiere. So did I. But yeah, it's kind of like everybody's story. But yeah, I think everything that I learned, at least in terms of editing, was just from doing it on my own. And I don't think I ever got a job and they were looked at the classes I took in college, or they looked at even, my GPA in college or whatever. Yeah, they're just like, oh, here's your work. It's good. You have the job, or let's see what you can do. Yeah. So, I think there are a lot of different ways you can pursue this, and school might seem like an easy way, and it's definitely a way to meet people. And sure, the connections I made in college, a lot of us have now like moved out to LA, and we connect with each other and help each other out, and that's been awesome. But I think if you're really involved with your filmmaking community in your city, where just find them,
right.
Facebook groups like Black with No Cream, just find them and collaborate with them, and just start kind of building your team and making content. That content you make will give you more of an edge than a degree will, like 10 times out of 10, for sure.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's so true. And I feel like there was a good example of this in Black with No Cream not too long ago. It was this kid posted, he had reached out to me and told me like, yo man, my mom died, and like I'm living at my grandma's house, and everything's pretty much fucked right now. I have no friends. I don't know anyone in this town. I just want to make videos or like make content, and like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then he said the same thing basically on Black with No Cream, and everyone was starting to pour out like, bro, just use your phone and go out and shoot some shit. And he's like, all my friends are out drinking this weekend. I don't want to do that. I want to make shit. It's like, well then fucking make some shit. Yeah, make shit. But like he expressed how there was no one around him that did what he did. And I don't think people realize that there's no way there's a town in America that exists without some fucking bunk ass film crew that will shoot your wedding. You know what I mean? That
true.
Exists.
And probably they don't want to be doing weddings.
They don't want to be doing weddings. Most likely they don't want to be doing weddings.
Because I used to do weddings too.
Same.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, they got probably a glide cam. They probably have some sort of DSLR. They'll probably want to like let you hang around and like help you become cool like at what you do. But like that exists for sure. And so the importance of what you just said, like that's so important to me, to like find community for kids to understand that it's around them, because I think they think that it's not, and that they can just watch YouTube videos, and these YouTube people are out here doing the dopest shit in the world, and they just can't from wherever they're at. But that's not fucking true. Even in college, like low-key, I think my film program, not film program, but it's like a multimedia program or whatever. It like set us up where there's this thing called CRP, Cedar River Productions, was our like group. And I remember going to my university from community college and like seeing that, and then I heard that like, yeah, it's CRP, like every month they get together and they like play videos and they hang out and they like make stuff, and they have like a committee, and there's a president and all that shit. I was like, I want to be the fucking president. I was like, I gotta do that shit. And I then did it, and by the time I got to that point, it was pretty weak, but it was crazy because right away it was all the kids I wanted to create. You know what I mean? They're all a part of this shit, and I felt so like connected with people. And then throughout college, like we all moved together, you know what I mean? Like then there was people that just didn't come, and I'm like, what the fuck? And we just always like created shit. We got to play with all the gear. We had access to everything. It was so sick, and that just like changed my whole attitude and the way I approached like creating, because you did it with people, and that was so important. But college is also just like,
well, but I think that was the most valuable thing I took away from college, was the people that I met. And so I think if you are in the situation where, your parents want you to go to college, or, you went in for another major and then you ended up switching to film or to media because that's what you decided you want to do. Talk to the other people in your class, and the people that speak up in class and that raise their hand and they give the answers and say, hey, what are you working on? And see who you can build with. So even if you don't see an immediate community there, because I had connected with a guy in college who was kind of like this producer, and he had a lot of gear, and we were very restricted on like the checking out of the gear at our school, but he had like the gear on his own, and he had all these ideas he was always trying to pursue. We did like this web series, and it was all, outside of class. And those people that I met in that process, like I still keep in touch with to this day. Like a lot of them are out here doing stuff. One of them got me the job at Jumpcut.
Oh, crazy.
One of them's like a super big time trailer editor out here, and everybody's just kind of doing dope shit. And they started like we were the people in the classes that were like, okay, class is cool, but once we get outside of class, like let's work.
Right.
And that's when we really got to practice and learn.
Same.
But we could use the facilities at school. So that, I would say, definitely take advantage. Like if you have production rooms or if you have equipment you can check out, just like
Don't just use
all
it
to your
for class.
advantage.
Yeah, don't just use it for
definitely
class.
no. Definitely no.
Same shit. Because as soon as we knew we could get into that room, it was like, oh, cool, let's do. There's Doritos has a competition. Let's do the competition for the commercial, and we used it. And we thought we were like fucking legends because we were like making production like crazy or whatever with the 7D, and like it was so tight. But yeah, I agree. What would you give like for someone listening to this right now that is in a position where they have a full-time job, but they're also trying to do extra shit? Like to you guys, it's like your company of management and doing things like that. How do you balance both of them? Because what's tight for you is that you like your job.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Which is rare. No, I do, for sure. I really do. You know what? I would say if you can't work in a job that you like, work in a job that doesn't require much brain power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that you are able to be more productive if you work in like a menial job where, you know, you just kind of go clock in and clock out and you're not thinking too hard. And then you still have that energy at the end of the day to do creative things. Like when Marcos and I met, I was working at a movie theater at the ArcLight on Sunset.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to ArcLight, I guess. But anyway, so I mean, I was just doing shit work, man. It was like popping popcorn, sweeping the floors, tearing tickets. But they loved putting me on cleaning bathrooms. And honestly, cleaning the bathrooms was like kind of lit because you didn't have to be in a crew. You could just like basically hang out in the bathroom all day and be on your phone and watch videos and then just make sure the toilet paper rolls were stocked. So I would just be like chilling all day in the bathroom, like coming up with ideas, and Marcos was there, and we would just be talking about stuff like
Marcos was
plotting.
in the bathroom with you?
No, he's
You'd
not in
be
the bathroom with me. He was security, so he probably doesn't want me putting that out there. But yeah, I mean everybody knows. But whatever. So yeah, we would just be talking, you know, about different ideas. We met actually one of the guys who's the producer on Everything Scandalous. He's one of the big producers on there. He has probably 5 tracks.
Who?
This guy Manifest.
Okay.
We met him also at ArcLight. A bunch of like friends that were all trying to like be creative, have a job that gave us time to do our creative stuff on the side, and still make enough money to pay rent. So I would say don't have a job that you hate. And if that means taking a pay cut and doing something, working for, you know, Postmates or something like that, you know, that doesn't take up too much of your time, and you also still get to meet people. I think the meeting people part of it is important.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend like working at a call center, working at a desk job where you're restricted and you don't get to network with people. But I would say work somewhere where you don't have to think too much and you can interact and talk to people. And then by the time you get home, you'll still be down to do whatever it is you have to do, and you won't be just so tired from the day. You have to go home and go to sleep and get ready for the next day.
Yeah, I think that's something people struggle with all the time because I see it all the time, especially people that want to move out here. And their biggest thing is like, dude, how do I do it? How do I do it? And I'm like, create a budget, find a goal for your budget, whatever it is.
Save some money.
Yeah, save some money. But people get too distracted. And at the same time, what's like a benefit for living in a small town is that you live in a fucking small town and your rent is not high, and you know what I mean, like this compared to this shit out here. But people get caught up in that so much where they go and they'll work that job, whatever it is, and I don't think people think like what you're talking about, because you don't want to get like a brainless job because you want to make money, and money requires brain power, and people take a lot out of you, and you go and work 40 hours 50 hours a week just to like create the budget. But then you get home and you're fucking tired and you want to like eat dinner and you watch TV, and then all of a sudden you fall asleep and get back up and do it again.
Exactly.
And you lose all of that. You don't make anything anymore.
Yep.
You're so wound up in that shit. That's such a good idea or a good suggestion.
I'm not sure if that's part of the curriculum at Jumpcut, but I think we get into that too, where if you want to be a creator, then just do something where you can kind of figure out your budget enough so that what you're making is keeping you afloat. And unfortunately, you're going to have to take, cut cut to your pay, probably, if you want to do that. And your lifestyle might have to change. You might have to live in a house with a bunch of people, or, cancel your Equinox membership or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Equinox membership. What the fuck do you need?
But you might, you can't like live a cushy lifestyle and be a creator that's not, getting big gigs. Like you have to earn that.
Yeah.
And so don't expect to have the same lifestyle you have in your small town and have it out here. You can't expect that. They call it like the grind for a reason. You really gotta grind it out.
What's one of the funniest, or like, what's one of like the, I wouldn't say jobs you hated, but like, we all had, I'll get, my example would be, when I was trying to make music, I would try to make enough money to pay like my Visa bill and my car, like whatever I had to pay for, I don't remember.
Sure.
And so I would just shoot shit like for local commercials. They were just terrible videos that I would be making. And I did one for this lady who had these like, it was like an aerobics video.
Oh no.
I swear to God, but it's crazier. She did it for like people with Alzheimer's. So like, it was like,
hey, that's dope. Shout out to her.
it was
that's
tight.
Cool.
It was cool because, but then her hustle was lit though, because
Yeah.
she would then sell those to hospitals or like hospice places, and then the instructors would like have to learn it and then teach these people, and
Yeah.
like they would just do it. And so we had like 80-year-old people in the background like doing the shit, and I had no idea really what her goal was. Like, so I would just come there with like a camera and my tripod, and I had like another camera, and I was just like shooting a couple angles, and I'm just like, it'll work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll work or whatever. And I would like make a decent amount of money, but it would just take so long, and I'd be sitting there doing it. I'm like, oh fuck, like I gotta make this. In retrospect now, the way I did it back then was a breeze.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
the easiest shit.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like, seeing that now would be hilarious.
Yeah. So that's funny. That made me think of early on, when we first switched over to HD, right? So I had like this SD camera, and then we got like the HD camera, which still wasn't a DSLR, but it was like the Panasonic HVX, which is like the HVX HD version of what I had. So when we first got to the HD camera, we were working with this guy who's named Cozy. Shout out to Cozy, and he's a music A&R, but he also owns a security company. And so he connected with us, and he was like, hey, like I want to do these videos for my security company. And it wasn't just a security company, they also had like a gang unit. So they would go bust into these like crime scenes, and could they arrest people? They could arrest people. Like, I think they were armed also. And so he wanted
like cops, low key.
No, they weren't cops. They were just like armed security. And so he was like, hey, I want to like do this video series, kind of like a reality like cops show to market my security company.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yes,
shit.
what's crazy is, so in the marketing, the whole line was like, we go where Dog the Bounty Hunter won't go.
What?
So I put together this whole like thing, and After Effects, this whole project. It was like one of my first time using After Effects, but he wanted like this cool animated intro for it. So we shot all these stage scenes of these guys like going in and busting these like fake, people who sold drugs or like prostitutes or whatever, but they were completely staged. And one was like at a strip club, so they like shut down the strip club so we could shoot this like little 10-second scene, and we put it in the intro. And it's so funny. Like, it's still up on YouTube. I'll show it to you.
Really?
But it's I think it's unlisted because he was just using it to like pitch to investors. But like, it was really, really funny.
That's hilarious.
Because like it was supposed to feel like cops, but it was really fun editing because I could totally like hype it up, and I would put little sound effects, and it was
no, my bitch. That's hilarious.
That was really fun. But that made me think of that right now.
Yeah, that trumps mine. That's fucking.
Yeah.
That was way better than mine. That'd be fun, actually. Mine was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I hope she don't hear this, but like, they were cool, but it was like, fuck, I'm doing this shit. Like, think about this. I was rapping and performing.
I forgot you used to rap. That's crazy.
Rap.
I still haven't heard anything.
So I would be opening for like Chance the Rapper, and then 2 days later shooting 90-year-olds doing squats.
Wow.
For a check. But I mean,
yeah, you
get
gotta
the
get
money,
that check.
get the budget or whatever.
No, we got paid for this stuff too, and we also, Kozer's our dude, so we would always be down to work with him. But yeah, I mean, you just kind of figure out like what type of content you want to make if you have the opportunities and it's a good kind of connection that you want to build with somebody. We were talking with our DP Misaki a few days ago. Shout out to Misaki.
Misaki's the shit.
Yeah, he is. And he put this like, okay, have you ever heard it in film school or whatever? Did they tell you there's like a triangle, right, of things that if you want to make a video, you can't have all three. So there's like good, fast, and cheap. So you can either have like good and fast, and it's not gonna be cheap, fast and good, fast and cheap, and it's not gonna be good, or whatever. You get the picture. So so Misaki said, as creators, there's three things, and you can't always have all three. And one is like a good connection with somebody you want to build with. Another one is a good project you're creatively fulfilled by. And the last one is money. So you're not always going to get all three. You probably will never get all three. But if you can get two of them, then it's good and it's something you should do.
True.
So for us, this particular security videos or whatever, it was a good connection and it was money. So we did it, even though we weren't creatively fulfilled by it. We've done a lot of things where, we're creatively fulfilled by it and it's a good connection, but it's not paid.
Right.
So you have to be selective with what you do if you're not getting paid, or else, you'll end up doing a bunch of videos you don't want to do. But yeah, so that's kind of how we looked at it. And then, moving forward, like we still operate by that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I did not learn that in college, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't even know if this is a thing or if Misaki just like came up with it because he's like
young wizard.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wizard for sure.
What's like up next for you guys? I mean, obviously you got TF and you guys have a project coming out. You have music videos. How many music videos have you shot? And is it okay? He on the podcast he talks about he's got a project coming out. He said it'd be out next month.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So it's been
I think
probably a month.
I know, right? I think there's 4 videos that we've done so far for Everything Scanless. We meaning, the whole team, everybody. That it's not just us directing, it's a few other directors. One of the directors is actually in Black with No Cream.
Who's that?
This kid named Andrew. Yeah, and he did the video for G Code that's going to be coming out soon.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the Misguided video I talked about that we shot in South Carolina. And then Residential, that's dropping very, very soon. Ooh. Residential is going to be crazy.
Like how very soon? Because this comes out this
I don't know
Sunday.
when's very soon. 2 weeks?
2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So I'm just going to say watch it. I don't want to like say too much about it. But if you've heard Residential by TF, it'll definitely you'll be able to visualize what he's talking about completely.
On.
No, I can't.
It's
I can't,
a week
I can't.
early.
Nah, I can't.
No one will listen to this. No one cares about
I know
us.
no one's gonna listen.
Fuck.
But I just want people to watch it because I don't want them to.
It's
like,
ill though.
Yeah.
I seen it.
Yeah.
I saw an early version. I don't think that was the final version.
Yeah,
it?
and almost pretty much. It'll be roughly that. But
they play with tech in this video, so you've
for
got to
sure.
pay attention. And it's done right in the sense of the tech that's being used is done right.
Yeah.
So
and it fits the song, we're really trying to do videos that go with the song. So no more performance videos in front of a backdrop or a skyline or, graffiti or you know what I'm saying? Like we're way, way, way beyond that now. Yeah. So all the videos from this project are going to be crazy.
And he's got the song with Anderson too, right?
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
sure. I haven't heard yet. I'm really, really excited to hear it.
Either. He just keeps talking about it. I'm like, fuck.
I know. Like, when are we gonna hear it?
Yeah. So I always leave room so that I can. I let Black with No Cream people ask you questions.
Sure. Okay.
So they're all here with me and whatnot. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. But we'll ask them. You don't have to spend a lot of time answering them. I just giving people a chance to say some shit. So whatever. I told everyone who you were and whatnot. Let's see what we got here. Zach Self says, for someone looking to level up in creating music videos, what should be their top priorities? Lighting, camera operating, editing, techniques, etc. And thanks for being on the podcast. Stoked.
Dope. Stoked too. That's a good question. I would say it really depends on what your strengths are. I would say find whatever it is that you're real good at. For me, at least in the beginning, it happened to be editing. So a lot of our early videos, I tried to do more interesting things with editing because we didn't have the top of the line camera. I would say lighting's important no matter what, because if you have, I know that's why I was so bothered by this setup here.
I know, you hated
but lighting and sound are super important, but I guess sound not so much for music videos. But whatever it is, like, don't try to do everything.
Right.
Find the one thing that you're good at and polish it and get really, really good at it so that other creators who are good at other things will be down to work with you because they'll see that you're good at that one thing and maybe they don't have that one thing. So building a team is crucial. And you're not going to get to build a team if you're not good and if you're trying to do everything yourself.
Right.
So I would say, focus on your strengths, hone in on them, and just like try to find other people that can complement you and fill in the gaps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Corey Cataldo. Fuck.
At least you're trying. It's cool.
I know, it sucks. I'm terrible at saying. Do you operate on a 9-to-5 type schedule? If so, what are your thoughts on it? If not, how do you organize yourself and make sure you efficiently use your time? We kind of talked about that as far as like how you take your job, but I mean, your job requires a lot of brain power too.
It does for sure. But but I'm definitely not a 9-to-5. No, I'm flexible, so I go in when I need to do work and I come home, when I'm done. And if there's work to do, I just stay up doing it. I'm still learning how to prioritize my time every day, but something that I always try to go by is doing the hard stuff first and knocking it out. Maybe the things you don't necessarily want to do, the most difficult things, do them first. And then that way, by the time you get to the more enjoyable things, you won't have like an impending deadline that you have to do for something bigger. So, and also find out what time you're most creative because everybody has their peaks in the day of when, like for me, if I wake up in the morning, I'm much more likely to get something done. As crazy as it is because I'm like not a morning person, but if I'm up and
like early, or just like in general,
I don't know,
like even
just
if
like
it's
8. It's just like early for me, but like I'm much more likely to get something done than if I wait till the afternoon and then like people are texting me and they want to hang out or I want to go to the gym or whatever it is I want to do. So in the morning, that's kind of my time. And also, I think at least with editing, there are a lot of ways you can kind of get yourself in the zone.
Yeah.
You learn about in psychology class, like different psychological cues you can take to make yourself in that same creative place. So for me, it's like at my desk, I have to be super comfortable, like wearing sweats. It's just my personal thing. Like I like having a space heater, which is really weird.
No,
but
I do too, because your legs get the circulation cut off and shit. You get cold as fuck. I love space
for sure.
heaters.
Yeah, hell yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
So I always have to have a space heater.
Because we sit there and work for a fucking long time, people.
Right, yeah. And I usually make myself some little tea or whatever. I like, if it's not in the morning, sometimes I'll like drink beer just to get me thinking a little bit outside the box. And then it's going to be different for everybody. Yeah. So figure out how it is that you're most comfortable so that you're not focused on other things. For me, like if my room is dirty, I'm going to be like, oh damn, let me like pick up this room before I edit. And you're going to be focused on other things. So just get your whole space where you can be creative and thrive there.
I don't know who it was that I heard say this the other day where they like the night before they would it was Joe Rogan talking about some fucking military sergeant that he something like that he interviewed. Yeah, but he was like the top elite, like the president consults him, all this shit, whatever. But he would have his outfit, his meals, everything planned the night before so that he could get up and not have to spend time thinking about that. He is just done for him so that he can be focused on whatever it is. I thought that's so crucial. And I also think like I've been trying to do this whole optimize my day shit recently. Okay. Which has been hard like the past 4 days because me and Lauren have been like looking for new apartments and shit. So it's like fucking up all night and getting up at like, so basically it's not getting up early. It's sleeping 5 to 6 hours a night, like max.
Wow.
It's my thing right now.
Wow. No way.
But hear me out. Hear this out. So I would find myself in this, I got in this circle where I would like, we have this office in Century City or whatever. So that's like 4 miles from my crib. But I get up in the morning at like 9:30, whatever, and get up, like eat breakfast, take a shower and shit, hop on my skateboard, ride here, get here at like 10:30 or whatever. And then I be here, but right when I get here, I got emails and texts and all Instagram and all this bullshit. I'm like trying to catch up. By the time I start working on whatever I want to work on, it's like noon.
Right.
Then all of a sudden it comes to like 5, 6, 7, and I need to check out to go home and like eat dinner and hang out with Lauren because I want to make sure I'm balanced and whatever. So then we chill and we watch fucking Game of Thrones till like fucking 11 or 12 and then hop in bed and I'm still up watching something else because I got caught in some shit. And by that point, when she falls asleep, I feel like I should go work, but I'm already like in the worst mindset for that.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
Totally.
fuck, I'll just keep watching Atlanta until I fall asleep. And then I get back up and do it again. So what I've been trying to do is get up after 5 or 6 hours, right? I feel like I can run off that. I use this shit with my Apple Watch. It's crazy. It's called Pillow.
Okay.
It's dope. Do you have an Apple Watch?
No, I don't.
It is what it is. But it basically like tracks your sleep patterns and whatnot and wakes you up like if a little bit earlier than what you want. But anyway, I wake up in the morning and I feel like if I can beat beat my habit of like I'll just sleep for another hour or whatever, which is so hard to fucking do for me. It's for like super impossible.
Yeah.
Lauren can hop out of bed like that. And I cannot do that. But as soon as I do, I like get up, go start making coffee, get on my shit. No one's awake. Yeah. I'm not getting any texts. There's nothing to look at on the internet. Like I just can work and get so much shit done. And all of a sudden I just found I like give myself 6 extra hours. You know what I mean? That shit is incredible. Yeah. And then you can come home and do the whole shit and do the whatever. And then just make sure you sleep 5 to 6 hours. Yeah. And you're back up at it.
Yeah. That's for real. That's what I've been doing. But wow, 5 to 6 hours. I used to be on that. I feel like for my whole 20s, I was on that. People knew me as like the girl who didn't sleep because we would be up. Like Marcos and I would do these gigs sometimes like all night, just out shooting and then come back, go to work. For a while I had a night job and I had a day job at the same time. Goddamn. So I was working till like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And then as an editor at a post house, like a night editor, and then I would work at Hip Hop DX in the day, so I'd wake up at like 9, and then work until I had to go to work again, and then so I had no time, and then I would still come home and edit other stuff. So I was sleeping 5 to 6 hours. I got burnt out so quick.
Oh yeah, no, like if you're doing that, you're murdering yourself. Yeah. Like I think it has to be a fine balance where you can find like, because I'm trying to say at least 2 days a week, at least the weekends or whatever days I choose, I'll sleep as long as I possibly can. Yeah. Like try to go. And now I'm like so trained to get up, it's like hard to sleep now, which is weird. But I feel like it's like a fine balance. But it's also hard when you don't have. It'd be easier for me to get up when I have to be somewhere. Like if I have a shoot at 4:30 in the morning, I can get up and get in the shower like that. It's not hard for me. Yeah. But if I had to get up for the mindset of like, oh, I want to work on Black Window Cream shit or whatever, fucking hard as fuck. Yeah. I don't know. That's just. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. If you don't have a time to be somewhere and you're completely, but that's like, you know, the gift and the curse of being a freelancer too, is you have to be able to set your own schedule and really stick to it and be disciplined. And it's hard. Yeah. You know, it's really hard. That's why mornings, I agree, are best, because if it's night, like you're going to have too much stuff going on and you're going to want to chill and watch TV. Yeah. So definitely. But, you know, I mean, see what works for you.
Right. What real quick, just to note it, because I totally fucking forgot. Hip Hop DX, what'd you do for Hip Hop DX?
I was one of the first people to help start their YouTube channel. So I, you know, was like their main camera person, editor for quite a while. Yeah. I got an internship there. I think it was in 2013 because they put a post out there like looking for interns. Yeah. And I knew DX because I would go on like the Hip Hop DX forums, and I was super active on the forums for like years. Yeah. And then they shut the forums down and I was like crushed, and I was like, no. Yeah, I just went on one day and it was gone. And so when they put the post out that they were looking for video interns in LA, I was like, yeah, man, I got to do it, because I had been working at this basically like a trailer house at night. I was like full time there. Yeah. And I wasn't getting to meet these like bigger artists that I wanted to meet. And I was like, okay, well, at least here, even though it's an internship, I'm not going to get paid, I'll be able to meet people. Right. And the connections I made there have been like invaluable. Really? For sure. Yeah. But I think I did that for about a year. And then everybody that I worked with has gone on to do like really, really awesome stuff. That's crazy. But yeah, you know, so that was rough for, you know, for a while. I was kind of moonlighting, daylighting, whatever, doing both. But it was just so dope to me that I was finally getting to cut like big artist content, you know, and not just like the indie artists we were working with. It was like big artists. You know, we did like one of the early interviews with Iggy Azalea. Wow. You know, I don't know what happened, but but she was so cool. And I was like, man, this is crazy, you know. And then after that, she like became huge. And Ty Dolla $ign, who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Man, who else? I think we interviewed like all the Wu-Tang Clan members.
That's crazy.
That was, or most of them. Yeah, that was wild.
Damn, what an experience. Even as a like internship, you know what I mean? Did
Oh,
that
yeah.
ever become paid?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, for
so
sure.
It, like, turned
yeah,
into a
they
job.
sent us to South by Southwest, so that was dope.
Sick.
They sent us to Rock the Bells. So that was just, you know, it was really awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know, with that, I would just say, you know, like the triangle I was talking about, it was the two that wasn't paid, you know, it was the connections and the creative fulfillment.
Right.
So that was why I did that. But yeah.
Tight.
Yeah.
Okay, back to questions.
For
Sorry,
sure. Yeah, we got on a tangent.
First off, let's just talk about how we were drinking some shitty coffee from my WeWork building that I'm at right now, which we like stole. But then there's a bottle of Hennessy here.
Oh yeah, we didn't even address it.
Jess just really needed this Hennessy. Did you mix it with your coffee?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So is that good? Is that like Bailey's and
so good?
Is it good?
You know, my grandpa's wife, I would go out to dinner with her when I was going to college because my grandpa also lives in South Carolina. So I would go out to dinner with them. And my grandpa's wife, I remember every time we go to dinner, she would put like vodka in her coffee. And I would just look at her like, oh man, that's so gross. Like, why does she need to drink vodka with the coffee? Like, I don't get it. And then now here I am, you know.
Henny.
I mean, coffee is just so much better with Henny in it. A lot of things are better with Henny in it, for
I'll
sure.
have to try that shit soon. I didn't put any in mine. I don't know.
Black with no Henny. Yeah.
Fuck. It's kind of tight though. So Kavika, my homie Kavika, he's a VFX artist and he's ill as fucking. You guys should meet him. He just said, Raiders.
You know what? I'm not actually a Raiders fan. I just like I just like the old school Raiders, you know, like the whole look of it. So I just really like that hat. But I'm a Rams fan though, for sure. So that's kind of a trader move, but whatever. It's an old picture that you pulled from deep in my Instagram archives.
I did. I pulled a bunch of pictures and posted it on Black with No Cream so that they could answer this question or ask them questions. But
no worries.
Corey Sparks says, this is dope to see more women in the industry. I have a question for her. How can I encourage more women to get into filmmaking? When I talk to many of them, it seems that they're intimidated or something.
I mean, it's definitely a boys' club, as seen by this podcast. No offense to you, but you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of us are super behind the scenes. So I would say, you know, if you have women that you're friends with that are creative, just try to encourage them to find what it is that they're good at and see how you can help them and show up to their shoots or, you know, try to land them gigs. A lot of people took a chance on me really early on and I maybe didn't have the experience, but they wanted to see what I could do. Yeah. So if you can be that person for somebody you believe maybe hasn't had the opportunity, do it. You know, I mean, there are a lot of super talented, like, female editors out there.
Yeah,
for sure. A lot of people say that they prefer a female's eye than a man's when it comes to editing. So, and not just editing, but obviously directing too, you know, just like try to connect those dots for them if you can and if you believe in them. And, you know, because I think because there's not as many of us, we got to help each other out. Yeah. You know?
That's why, I mean, our editors, shout out to Shannon. She's like been editing with us for like this last year or whatever. She's a fucking beast.
That's dope.
You guys met her when we were coming in. It was like brief.
I want to see her stuff.
She's tight. Dope. She's really tight. Let's see. This dude, Andrew Fresca, just says, sick.
Andrew did the video. He did the video for G-Code.
Oh, that's your guy?
Yeah.
Did I say
shout
his
out
name
to
right?
him.
Andrew Frescas?
Yeah.
Frescas. That's funny.
Yeah.
Lauren said.
Oh my God, Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren commented on it. She's a Black with No Cream. She does not listen to the podcast though, so she probably won't hear this part of the conversation.
Oh, she better listen. It's me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You better text her. Do you have a lighter that my cousin, who's a boxer, can use? Yes, girls. Glad you're finally on the podcast.
It's a bit of an inside joke, so.
I don't get it.
Okay, you're not gonna get it. Remember 2 weeks ago at the TDE concert, what's it called, the toy drive?
Oh yeah,
and Lauren and I were there chilling in the car, and this kid comes out and he's like, "Hey, y'all have a lighter?" I swear he's like 14.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, I guess. Yeah, I have a lighter. I gave it to him. I was like, you better not be smoking though. You're like 14. He was like, oh, it's not for me. It's for my cousin. Like, and I was like, oh, all right, cool. Like trying to get him to go away in the conversation. He was like, yeah, you probably know him. He's like a boxer. His name is and then he like struggled trying to think of the guy's name. I was like, man, you bullshit. Like, get out of here. And
Floyd.
Then Floyd
Mayweather.
And he came back and he was like, oh yeah, like, can I get your IG? And I was like, man, no, like you're 14. Like,
damn.
I'm flattered, but on the real, like, no, you know?
Lauren said he came back to the car like 5 times.
Like, yeah, he kept just finding stuff to talk about. He was like, do you know what time it is? I was like, man, you gotta have game to like come up to some girl sitting in the car and be like, hey, what time is it? Knowing you have a phone in your hand and you can see what time it is, bro. Like, come on.
Me and Jay walk up, like, we just got done flying the drone. We were like walking up, we see this kid just like leaning into the car, like talking to you guys. And we walk up and he's like, oh, what's up, guys? What's up? And I'm like, yo, I fuck with you for real. I really fuck with you. You just come out your crib and try to get whatever's pulled up on the front.
Right.
Like, that was so fucking funny.
I mean, like, 2 white girls sitting there and Watts, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like,
that was
might as well. It's a big game.
Let's see what else we got. We'll wrap it. There's only 3 left. Alwa Gordon said, what is one thing you recommend to upcoming musicians they can do to make themselves stand out and be unique?
Wow, I think that's that question kind of answers itself because I think if you're unique, then you'll stand out. So I think the best way to stand out is to, it sounds like super basic, but just like be authentic and don't go with, you know, the current sound at the moment, whatever that is. If you listen to the radio long enough, you'll like hear whatever sound that is.
Right.
Maybe try to, you know, incorporate some of that, but don't fully conform to that, because if so, your shit's just gonna get lost in the mix. For sure. So do you, and talk about what you know, and fully commit to whatever it is that you're doing. Like, I love that when artists fully commit and they're not like doing one song this style, another song this style, one video this style, or they're like, their, you know, whole look is all over the place. Like, fully commit to whatever it is you do and just like ride with it.
Yeah, for sure. Coattail person, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Colton Batcher, he says, here's a question. How long did it take you to master the software that you use? For example, After Effects and your audio softwares. I just started to learn After Effects and it seems like such a daunting task.
It is daunting. After Effects is so daunting.
Hard as a motherfucker. Hard as a motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm still learning stuff on After Effects for sure. But and I don't really use any sound software. I know how to do like Audition, if that's even still a thing.
Yeah, that's what I use for this, I think.
Yeah. But luckily, you know, I have Marcos who mixes stuff for me. But in terms of mastering Premiere, what was the question? How long did it take?
How long did it take you to master it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been editing like 12 years now, so it's been a long time. But I didn't learn on Premiere, you know. So I think that if you really study the craft of editing and watch a lot of different, you know, films, music videos, commercials, like study different styles, see what you like. It doesn't matter like which program you're using, because you can figure out the technical stuff later. But having that, you know, that timing and that intuition is really everything. So I think software mastery isn't as important. It is maybe in After Effects where you're doing a lot of technical stuff. But to that, I would just say I learned from getting like pre-made templates, and I would see something that was kind of what I wanted to do, and I would download it, and I would learn by customizing the template. Like, I have no shame in saying that, because I learned so much, and maybe it was faster for me to do that than just start from scratch and try to figure out everything completely. So you know, I would say do that, and it takes a while to master After Effects for sure. But just keep going at it, and you'll learn more with every gig you take. And
that is true. Challenging yourself by like real world scenarios.
Always challenge yourself, and always oversell yourself. Like always take that big gig. I was picking up After Effects gig before I had ever done any After Effects gigs, because I was like, I think I could do it, and I'm just gonna figure it out on the spot. You know, you get paid to learn. So
hey, do you do After Effects? No. Then why the fuck would they hire you if you answer like that?
Yeah, exactly.
You have to
just
say
yes. You do it, figure it out, you know, watch some tutorials. The information is out there for sure. So,
Jumpcut.com.
Right.
Last question is Brian Velazquez. He said, why did you choose the name Hello Kitty as your DJ?
Wrong.
And also, I know, Hella. And also, how long did have you been editing videos for? She just answered that. And he said, #DeLeon.
Hey, that's Pollo. Shout out to DJ Pollo. He's part of the team. He's our graphic designer, tech guy.
He's part of the team and called you Hello Kitty.
No, he's
joking.
wrong.
He's
He's
joking.
wrong. No,
Hello Kitty's.
Hello Kitty, yeah.
I thought it was Hello Kitty 2.
Yeah.
And then when I was looking at it again, I was like, oh, that says Hello Kitty. That's way tight. Hello Kitty.
it's Hello Kitty. I don't know. I just thought it was cute. When I was in Japan, like I would buy a lot of Hello Kitty stuff,
I
a lot of
bet.
Sanrio stuff, because that's where it's all at, and they have all
Yeah.
the good like, exclusive Sanrio shit. So I would buy a lot of Hello Kitty stuff. And then kind of it continued into me being like a little too old to still be into it. But Hello Kitty's like timeless, you know?
Yeah.
So when I was starting to DJ, I was like, oh yeah, it's clever, you know? So I just roll with
Hello
it.
Kitty.
Like no one gave me the name or anything cool. I was just like, yeah, that's gonna be my DJ name.
How often do you actually DJ with like records and shit?
I do. Yeah. So I actually don't spend that much. Like currently, it's because it's not a priority. I don't really put myself out there. But I really just DJ for me. Like I started collecting records maybe 6 years ago because we were living in Hollywood, and I saw the sign up on a lamp post, and it said like massive record sale. And so I ended up going to this guy's house. He ended up being my neighbor. And he would have these huge record sales in his backyard. And he would just buy out like storage lockers full of records and sell them. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Like I just got turntables just for fun. And then I was going and buying records. And I ended up just buying stuff because it was like $1. And I was like, oh, this sounds dope. Like, let me see her. I know this song. Let me get this one. And I am getting a lot of singles, right? And singles back then, like 12-inch vinyls, they're kind of made for DJs. So now if you get like a DJ, subscription or pack or whatever, you get like the extended intros, the extended outros, so you can blend the songs. Well, these 12 inches of like disco and boogie records were made for DJs so they could just loop them and play them forever.
Crazy.
And I was into a lot of these old school records because I was like looking for samples, right, of like my favorite rap songs. And so, yeah, I just ended up with a whole bunch of singles, and I got really obsessed with like watching this DJ named DJ Osmos on YouTube, and he would do these like seamless vinyl blends. It was perfect. And I was like, okay, I want to get like that. So I just started practicing, and I just love the way vinyl sounds. So really, it's a lot of times just for me. I'll just like spin at home and put different records together.
That's tight.
And now maybe I play like once a month. I play at this gallery downtown sometimes.
And you play
little
music
parties
video
and stuff like that.
right?
Yeah, I
you
did the one in New York. I played at Brooklyn Museum. That was cool.
That's tight.
Yeah. But, a lot of people...
She tours.
No, not even.
She tours.
But I don't really play hip-hop because the hip-hop records that you find on vinyl, they don't have those extended. So it's really difficult to blend them.
Right.
But like all my like boogie 12 inches, it's just dope. And
Tight.
people, they come up to me and they're like, oh, like, why does it sound so good? I'm like, because it's vinyl.
Yeah.
It just does. And I don't know.
That's
The
crazy.
people that can hear it, they dig it.
So would you say in 2018 you could see Hello Kitty opening for Jeff on tour?
Nah. No, definitely not. No. I mean, I kind of like, my goal when I play is to see somebody in the room like Shazamming when I'm playing.
What song is it? Yeah. That's
Yeah, or to come up to me and be like, hey, like, what song is that?
Right.
Or my goal even more is for them to try to Shazam it and that shit doesn't pop up, because then I'm like, I win for today,
Right.
So I really just want to put people on. There's a bunch of crazy labels back then, and, nowadays I buy stuff and I don't even know this song. I'll buy it because I know the label, or I'll look at the year it came out and I'll be like, okay, based on like when it came out, it probably has like this BPM, right? And
Right.
like, so in my set, I can work in, building up faster songs because I have a whole bunch of songs that are like 122 or whatever.
Right.
So I don't remember where I was going with that, but
crazy
yeah, pretty
DJ
much that's
nerd
like,
shit.
but it's just for me, really.
Yeah.
It's just for me. So I'm available for hire, but I'm gonna play what I want to play. You know what I'm saying? People try to give me a playlist, like, nah,
Fuck 'em.
I'm not with that.
Dope.
Yeah, I don't DJ weddings or quinceañeras or none of that shit. Yeah.
So you heard it first. She'll be on tour in 2018.
Nah.
All right, cool. So how can people find you? I'll post all that shit in the show notes. But what do you want them to do if they search for you?
For sure. Jessica Lorenzo on Twitter. Jessica Lorenzo with a 0 on Instagram. I know, man. Who got that? Like, sell
Jessica
it to
Lorenzo,
me, please.
Probably.
Yeah, I know, but she don't even use it. Anyway, so yeah, Jessica Lorenzo. That's about it.
Cool.
Yeah. And if you're interested in booking me as a DJ or just kidding. Or if you want to sign up for Jumpcut, I'm not sure what the process is, but you can just message me directly and I'll send you a link.
Dope.
This is a bit exclusive right now.
Oh,
yeah.
so like people can't get on and just join.
You can get on through the ads, but if the ads are over by the time this airs, yeah, you can't just go on the website and join. You have to go through their whole thing.
What a trip.
Yeah.
All right, well, appreciate you being on this shit. That was tight.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
people made it this far, I always let whoever I'm talking to do a hashtag. Like, what do you want your hashtag to be? So you have to you tweet at us the hashtag. What is it?
Black with no Henny.
Yeah, Black with no Henny.
Ben is Black with no Henny.
There it is. All right, appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
All right, thanks, Ben. I appreciate it.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, 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 bye. That's it for episode 16 with Jessica Lorenzo. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Make sure to follow Jess on all platforms and check out her fucking work. I've shared her links in the show notes, and you can find that at bwnc.com/podcast. Leave a review on iTunes. Let me know what you loved about this interview. If you are interested in joining Black with No Cream's private group for creators, visit bwnc.com/join. And last but not least, buy some fucking illest Black with No Cream merch. Every sale helps me keep this thing alive. Subscribe to Black with No Cream. New episodes every Sunday. See ya next week, you bitch!